Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am doing page number 3 today. So this is kind of automatically has 3-inch strips, which that works well with that particular layout I picked out. Would have done okay with that one. Also, that one's good too, but those strips are kind of narrow, and I get to use a good portion of the strip if I use the first one that I picked out. Yeah, that one's not so crazy about that. That's okay, but I think I'm going to use something like that later on. Anyway, this one works well for me because I get to use the full uh, strip on either side there. So those are about 3 inches. And it's got a nice little finishing edge there that I cut off and then wish I didn't cut off and then put back on. There you go. So I've picked out peach and ballerina and desert rose to go with this. And it just so happens that I have desert rose glitter paper, which I really kind of thought was copper, but it's really beautiful. And it's desert rose. Who knew? I really thought it was copper, but it's desert rose. So yay. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the title here, and then I'm going to put that on some backing. So I'm just trying to figure out, I just want to give it a similar amount of space as the bottom. So anyway, there we go, always on my mind. See, now I could have left that on right now, but I didn't. And there it goes. What can you say? You know, you think and then you unthink and then you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm not going to use the full 12 inches, so I'm going to cut 2 inches off the length because I want to make my strips uneven. And so this way you have some finagling room up and down. So I'm just taking 2 inches off of my desert rose and making several strips that are 10 inches. Now, if you wanted to make a banner cut at the bottom, you could certainly do that. I didn't, but you could totally do that. So I made my 2 pieces there, and I'm going to use peach because that's just really pretty. So there's a 3-inch piece and then another 3-inch piece, and then I've got to cut the 2 inches off the other way. So you kind of save more paper by doing it this way rather than cutting a full 2 inches off. So there we've got that, and then we've got the flowered pieces, and then I don't know that I'm going to use the ballerina. Isn't that pretty? I'll have to use that that scalloped edge for something at some point, I hope. So here comes my glitter desert rose. So we're going to do the 3 inches once again, and then cut 2 inches off at the bottom and set that other piece aside. So is that not like just beautiful? It's just glorious. It's a kind of interesting. These pieces, these colors just remind me of Arizona. So I'm going to trim off more here just to kind of make it equal around and not have so much white showing. Here we go. That looks better. Yeah, I'm gonna mat that. There's gonna be more glitter in my future. Maybe that. Stuff doesn't stick too well to the glitter, just saying. So I end up using the pop-up foam to glue to adhere onto the glitter paper. I mean, it just doesn't, maybe liquid, but the foam really works out just fine. So that's what I'm going to use. And then I have to trim off a little bit there. So then we have a real pretty title. Always on my mind, and we've got the glitter going around it, so very pretty. And I'm thinking, well, should I put it on ballerina? Nah. Nope. Not today. So the question is, what am I going to do here? So I'm going to take some white daisy, and I'm going to run the strips along the white daisy. So kind of want to figure out which colors to put next to each other. Yeah, it's kind of what to do. So the you don't have to cut 2 3-inch strips, which I did. All you have, well, you can cut 1 3-inch strip and then cut it in half to 1.5 by 10. So you're going to have 2 of those, and those are essentially going to make up the middle of the 2 pages. So they will go edge to edge to edge, and to just it. So you just have one big 3-inch piece going down the center of the 2 pages. So I decided I didn't like just the plain looking cardstock. And so I'm taking some of my shimmer brushes that, so this is on the peach, and I'm doing peach on peach. And so I'm going to take the my scissor here, because that was handy, and use it as a tapping thing to kind of do a splatter. And that way, you know, I've got just a little bit of something on the cardstock. I just didn't want it to be, it just looks so plain there with the flowers and the glitter. You know, it just needed some help. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the desert rose. So this is like my box. This is my painting box. And I didn't have a desert rose shimmer brush. Don't know why. So I'm using peach again to do a splatter on the desert rose too. So it doesn't stick out quite as much because the peach is really lighter, but it does, you know, give a little bit of texture, and it gives a little sheen to the paper. So that's okay. I'll have to remember to buy myself a desert rose. Ah, so I went and found, and this is paprika. So paprika is darker than desert rose. So that is going to stick out better. So I like that. I like that better than the desert rose, but I don't know why I'm using the peach again. I guess just to complete it. Don't know. Anyway, paprika works, and it's right in the same family of colors. So that worked out just fine, and it's a nice dark shade. These, I'm telling you, these boxes are really super, super helpful. You know? It's like, what am I doing? Doing peach. I should have stuck with the paprika. Huh. So there we go. Splattering away. It's great fun, I have to say. Everybody needs to splatter. So there I'm going to attach it. Had to let them dry a little bit. They don't take long to dry at all. At all. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it. One of these days I'm going to attach it, I promise you. I don't know how many times I started and stopped this. I think a bunch. Anyway, here we go. And the splatter actually coordinates just fine with the glitter. So we have a lot of glitter going on. And I am butting these right up. I'm not overlapping. I'm just butting them right up to each other. And offsetting them top to bottom. Gosh, that's gorgeous. So beautiful. So I put my flowered piece from the original paper in, and the edge just kind of looked unfinished to me, so I'll show you later on what I do after I get the second page down. So I need to have these two center pieces match. I'm shedding. So these two center pieces needed to match. So I'm just kind of putting the paper up next to each other and then putting it down. So there we go. So that's the idea. It's another 3-inch piece in there. And so this came out. See how this is really easy to do. It's a very easy to do page, and it's a real easy to do idea with any of your papers. So just get papers that coordinate. They can be all prints or some of the cardstock like I did, and if you want to add some interest, you can splatter it with whatever you've got, whether it's, you know, some watercolor paints or, you know, whatever you can come up with. And just add some interest to it. But this is just such an easy way of making a layout. So I decided to add a little splatter. You know, once you start splattering, everything is going to get splattered because you just like it so much. So I'm going to put that on there, I think. We'll see. We'll see. I have a little streak going down there. One of my little splatters ran. But it gets covered up, so it just doesn't matter. That's the fun thing about doing things that are kind of a little messy. You know, it's you're doing a splatter technique, and so if a splatter gets a little out of control, well, it's just a splatter. So it's part of the art. So you can't worry about it too much. So there I am popping up the always on my mind on the with the foam dots. And that's what works out real well. Only problem is then the glitter on glitter kind of blends into each other. So it's kind of like, what do I do about that? So we'll see. So the edge of the white paper was bothering me. Never done this before, so I've taken my shimmer brush and kept some ink flowing through it, some paint or whatever it is flowing through it, and then I just edged the paper with the peach shimmer. So it's just a little, I mean, it's barely, you can hardly barely see it. It's just a little bit, but it actually adds some shimmer along that edge. So it adds a little bit of substance to the edge and just a tiny bit of shimmer shows through. So I just like this is like a super easy way of distressing instead of using, you know, the regular ink and sponge. This is pretty sad. There's a lot of ways you can do distressing. So this is just happens to be one because it was what I had handy. And it ends up coordinating with everything else that I've done. So I was going to put that up there, and then I was going to run it there. And it was like, okay, that could, but no. But then I decided to finish off the edge there. And look at how much, it's just like it needed that. So I shouldn't have taken it off. So if you want to do this, I would suggest leaving that little thin edge on there. Otherwise, you're doing like me and just adding it on after you took it off. Silly girl. So here we go. Just putting it right up to the edge. And then making sure that I am covering every bit of white while I move it down. That kind of makes me go, ah, it's finished. It looks better. So this is just kind of unusual paper. It's very pretty. But it's unusual. I like it. I like it. I like the colors. It would look really pretty with sunset pictures. You know, with those oranges that come out. See, sometimes you make pages and it's like they tell you, gee, you know, something like such and such would be really nice on this page. So I'm just trying to figure out where to put my title. This is what happens. I'm sorry this is taking long, but it's I kind of plan, I don't plan, and I just kind of do it as I go along. So sorry about this. It's just kind of, what do I do? Do I put it sideways? It's like there's a crazy person there. Anyway, I mean, I'm trying everything, right? Nah. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with my pictures. So I just decided to cut, even though the original background was a charcoal. It wasn't our charcoal. It wasn't quite the right shade, and so I decided to use black and go with that. And then I put some desert rose behind there. That helped make the adjustment. So, you know, having another little bit just really set that off. So this is we're going to have a double mat for this picture. So I'm making like 4.5 by 6.5 to go with the 4.25 by 6.25. Oh, so I am using the charcoal. Boy, you just never know what I'm going to do. There you go. I never know what I'm going to do. And then we've got the 4 by 6 picture. So we've got a double mat there. And I really like, so this would be the highlighted picture of this layout. You know, because it's getting double matted. I don't think the other ones do. So it's the star. Yeah, there. So then I have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do over on the other side? We're going to have some there's a lot of 3 by 4 prints that are going on these layouts for some reason. And these are going to be on the desert rose. So I'm getting a lot of use out of this desert rose, which I really haven't used a whole lot of. So this is a good thing. And this is a perfect place for desert rose to go. So I'm pretty happy about that. That I get to use it. You know, you don't want, you know, we've had at times there's been, you know, cardstock that is, you know, it's an unusual color, and so you just don't use it a whole lot, and you end up having a whole lot left over at the end of the year, and then it's discontinued, and it's like, I have a whole lot of that left, and I really don't have a whole lot of, what am I going to do with it? So I had I decided that I needed to make the picture stand out a little bit. So I haven't used a whole double mat. What I've used is I had some pieces that were cut already to be 3¼ by 4¼ and so I am just offsetting a little piece there so that the side of the picture stands out from the desert rose background. And so, and I kind of like the way this looks. You know, it's coordinating with the main picture. So there's many different ways these prints could go. But I really like how it, excuse me, that makes the print stand out a little bit. I am determined to use that scallop. I need to chill on that, right? Okay, so that's very cool. So I think I can put that. And then because I added a little bit of charcoal to these different pictures to make them stand out. So guess what I'm going to do? Of course I am. And it's going to be just a teensy bit. And this is the charcoal again. And I just want a little bit sticking out. And so there's only like 1/8 of an inch sticking out from around the desert rose glitter paper. But it's enough to make it stand out from the desert rose background strip. So I ended up doing hello Daisy, a little bit of a background on each of the prints to get them to stand out from all the strips. I guess that's one problem you have with having all the different color strips is that, you know, when you try to get the prints to stand out from them, you have to be careful about how you do that. So there we go, and now we've got, I'm going to make the little bouquets. So there's lots of flowers and lots of leaves, very, very pretty, very easy to pop out. And I'll make some little bouquets around the pictures. They're pretty, aren't they? And I like that really deep color. Even though I'm not really sure what I think it's a betwixt and between color. And so I'm just going to mostly Tombow, and then sometimes I'm going to add foam when I want the flower to pop up from the background. So I think these are, and I'm just trying to spread some around and kind of build them to see what they look like and then figure out, you know, just how I want them to go. Look at the difference that makes. I mean, holy moly, it just makes a huge difference. So this makes me want to put the camera up so I can catch what I'm doing on the other side. That's okay. We'll do that. Okay, I've got leaves that I need over on the other side. Just kind of trying to find everything. What to do? What am I doing? I'm looking for where does this go in the bouquet? Perfect. There we go. Last leaf over there. And need to start sticking them down. So there's the stickers that are going to go with these flowers. So he's going to get popped up, that little flower. And I think the other flower is going to get popped up. I like to pop up the flowers. And then the leaves are going to lay flat because they've got to tuck under. So, and it's always nice to have those leaves hanging over into the white on the edge, you know, to give the white on the edge a little interest. You know, if I was smart, what I would have done was taken the whole white cardstock and did a splatter on it all over and then put everything together. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I'm just kind of trying to get a layer going here that makes sense. So it's pretty. This is very pretty paper. And that, look at that. And there we go. I'm going to put that behind the Always on My Mind. I'm kind of popping it up a little bit. And there we go. There's a little flower to go with it. And then a little tiny sticker. And look at how that makes a difference there. So, and these little flowers are just going to go here and there, adding to it. So cute. Just such little detail makes such a big difference. It's just really, really neat. So I'm sorry that I'm working off camera here. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dorothy. I have to tell you, sometimes I get wrapped up in what I'm doing, and I forget that I've got a camera going. It's you know, I used to multitask. When I was younger, I can barely do a single task anymore. So I apologize, because sometimes I really do work off camera and don't mean to. So here we go. Okay, so that little stem is going to get cut off. Boom. And then we cover up. See, and it looks so nice that they're hanging over on the white cardstock. It's just really, and then a little heart goes there. A little heart up here. And another heart over yonder. It's just a really lovely layout. It's lovely paper. I think I'm just going to do a little banner strips up here. Just because I had the sticker and didn't know what else to do. That's what it comes down to. And then I'm trimming it off. So, there we have it. So that's almost it. There we go. That's what it starts off as, the 1 page, and this is how it ends up as the 2 page. And that's the layout from Make It With Your Heart Volume 5. And I'm trying to get these straight to get a camera shot. And I don't have it all in, but hang in there, because I come back because I realize I didn't put any journaling down. So I made a journaling box and did the same thing with the black and the or charcoal and the desert, and I didn't get a big enough picture. So here we are showing the whole layout. So I hope you enjoyed watching this and bearing with me. Thank you, and subscribe. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith.
Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.